How do you feel being an Arsenal fan? Did it feel strange hearing that UEFA Champions League sound?
Definitely, it wasn't strange. It was a familiar sound, but it was good to know that Arsenal is going to be competing in the Champions League again for the first time in nearly a decade. As it's been too long out, if you ask me, for the caliber of club that Arsenal is, they should be playing in the Champions League season in, season out. But they made their way back. They fought, they clawed, and now they're back where they belong with the best of the best.
Now, talking about the pedigree, the caliber of Arsenal when it comes to club status, where would you place Arsenal in the Champions League right now? Would you place them as underdogs in Group B, where they feature against the likes of Sevilla?
Yes, actually, they are underdogs. According to the UEFA club coefficients, currently Sevilla sits about 7 places above Arsenal. Arsenal currently sits 23rd in the club coefficient. So definitely, Sevilla, they've been more consistent in the Champions League and Europa League over the last couple of years. Arsenal even faced PSV last season in the Europa League. They had issues with them. I think they won the first game, drew the next one. So it's in fact they lost away at PSV. So it's not going to be an easy group for Arsenal. And yes, they are underdogs if you ask me. PSV and Sevilla would have an added advantage.
All right, so talking about advantages now, looking at what Arsenal has done so far in the transfer window. Today is deadline day, and I'm sure by 11 p.m. the clocks will come ticking and winding down. Has Arsenal done a great job in the transfer window so far?
So far, so good, definitely. They signed quality players in Kai Havertz, Jurien Timber, and
Sorry, allow me to stop you there. You talk about quality players, and you mentioned Kai Havertz first.
Yeah, he's a 65 million pound.
Oh,
He's a
wow.
Champions League winner. Chelsea. He did score the winning goal in the final against Manchester City.
Okay.
Yes, he's a quality player and he's one of the best from Germany. But definitely, he's found it difficult to should I say, adapt into the current Arsenal side. So it's going to be difficult for him, or rather, it's been difficult. But you hope that he hits the ground running soon enough. But then again, I also mentioned Jurien Timber, who sadly suffered an ACL injury. He might be out for the rest of the season. So when you're looking at the squad depth in terms of defense, I think Arsenal do need to sign another player who can probably, maybe a player on loan, who can deputize in the absence of Germain Timber, considering the fact that Nuno Tavares is joining Nottingham Forest today on loan. Kieran Tierney has already joined Real Sociedad, so they need more cover in that area. Also, if Arsenal do not plan to reintegrate Nicolas Pepe back into the team, I believe they do need to sign a world-class right winger, someone who can actually compete with Bukayo Saka for that position.
Now, talking about Arsenal's positions now, you look at Manchester City, champions of England, champions of the FA Cup, champions of the UEFA Champions League. They have Erling Haaland, who is also UEFA's best player of the year, best male player of the year. There is the likes of Nottingham Forest, who have Awoniyi, who is banging in the goals. There's Rashford, who plays for Manchester United. Harry Kane, of course, has left Tottenham Hotspur, going over to Bayern Munich. When you look at these clubs who want to achieve greatness, they have top men striking for them. Mbappe scoring goals for Paris Saint-Germain. Is Edin Ketia or Gabriel Jesus, who is just returning from injury, are these the guys to win Arsenal the EPL and whichever cup competition that they get to play in?
All right, then. In previous years, talking about a club like Manchester City, they were able to be consistent in the Premier League, winning trophies for at least 2 years without the good, or rather without the major presence of Kun Aguero, who was battling injuries. So Manchester City were able to win the Premier League, will I say, without a recognized striker. Pep Guardiola went back to his best formula last season, getting a pure striker. The same thing with Liverpool when they went to go and sign Darwin Núñez, moving away from the false nine in Roberto Firmino. So it's quite clear that if you want to be successful, not only in England, but also in Europe, you do need an out-and-out striker that can produce at least 20 plus goals per season. Now, Gabriel Jesus is not a striker that has done that so far in his career. Neither has Edin Ketia. But when you take a look at both of them, who can do it better, you probably think Gabriel Jesus, because he offers more to the team, because he's not just a traditional striker. Taking a look at last season, he missed 3 crucial months for Arsenal. And if he was still part of the team during that period, Arsenal fans will argue that if he was available, if William Saliba were available and Zinchenko for the period in time when they were away, maybe Arsenal wouldn't have slipped in the title race. So Gabriel Jesus is the main man for Arsenal. He's the one that's going to be tasked with scoring 20 plus goals per season for Arsenal. If he can remain fit, Thankfully, he's back from injury. But if he can remain fit and Arsenal play good football the way they've been doing so far, if Arteta stops tinkering with the squad and sticks to a particular formula, definitely you can get the best out of Gabriel Jesus. But the most important thing about Arsenal, the best thing about Arsenal currently, is that the team is starting to look like a well-oiled machine where goals come out from anywhere, from defense, from midfield, and the forward line. However, it is important that you do have an out-and-out goal scorer who can always bail you out when it matters most.
All right, lastly, what are true expectations from Arsenal?
Expectations from Arsenal. First of all, I just expect them to get out of the group stage.
Okay.
After the group stage, when it comes to the knockout phase, you know that it's Champions League football. Anything can happen. You do need to be on your A game. Even the best of the best can get knocked out in the group stages. We've seen that before in previous years where the reigning and defending champions get knocked out at the group stage. So if you're not on your A game, you know that you will be left out. So first of all, Arsenal, I expect them to qualify and advance from the group stages. And then, the sky is the limit.
All right, the sky is the limit for Arsenal. We wish them all the best as they return to the UEFA Champions League. Thank you very much, Okpe Adebari, for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Shidoka. It was always a pleasure.